Each year, when summer is ending, I look forward to the fairs in and around Littleton. One of my favorites is the Country Fair at Fay Park in September, and that's by the Unitarian Church. Today we have the people who have pulled this fair together for the past 25 years. Well, Laura Semple has pulled it together for 25 years, and her sidekick, Julie Welch-Bucherie, see, I'll get it, are here, and we're going to talk about, how it started and how it's going and where it's going from here. So let's start with you, Laura, because you've been doing this a long, long time.
I have, and you said we're going to talk about how it started, and that's just a really interesting story because this fair goes back over 80-something years. It goes quite a ways back.
Wow.
In the times when we had the carriages, the horse carriages on the church property, and we just had the fair on the church property, and it was one of those fairs where you just run in and you run out, and over the years the fair has really morphed into something much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Where we said, this was probably about 20 years ago, we said, we need to take better use of that beautiful park across the street. So we opened it up, and we used the whole entire fairground, and we have tried to make the fair something where you can come and spend the whole entire day and not spend a fortune.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, my favorite spot, and I told you, is the trash to treasures, because I always find something there that can be used in the thrift shop or at my house or for my kids. But most of all, I see everybody I know there.
Yes.
That's what I love. I love even driving by when it's there, because it makes me feel like old New England. I love that feeling that we're together, and we're a small town, and we have this great fair every year. So I'm only going to say this once, so keep it going.
Well, I have to tell you, with the construction at the fire station, we were a little nervous, and we worked really, really hard to make sure that we had sufficient parking.
Oh, yeah.
We worked with the chief of police, the fire department, the rec department, because it's a treasure to have this in town. So we really wanted to make sure we had parking for everybody. So we have the Congregational Church is letting you, as patrons, park in their parking lot. The Masonic Temple is opening up their parking lot for the patrons as well.
Terrific.
The Castle in the Trees. You could even park here at the town offices. It's just a short walk. So that was really important, that it be accessible, and I couldn't be more pleased with how everybody came together to try to figure out how we could make this happen with the construction.
That's the small town thing again, too.
Yes.
Everybody is happy to help each other. So, but how did you, 25 years, that's a long time.
It has been a long time. It's sort of, it's neat in the sense that they've given me this name, Queen of the Fair. So we kind of call it the Queen and the Court. So Julie is on the court. She will probably be a future queen one of these days when the time is right. So she's on the court this year. She's learning all of the different nuances that go into running the fair, because it takes the whole entire church.
It's a huge undertaking, you're right. It's a lot of planning, a lot of coordination, a lot of communication with different people.
So does it take, like, from the time you close the fair to the time you begin again to get it going?
No, the church breaks for the summer, so the third Sunday in June is our last service. So the month of June, we try to connect with people and get them to commit to running something.
Okay.
And then we spend the summer reaching out to people and asking them to serve on a different booth task. And then come right about now, everybody's got something that they're doing, and then the chair people, because we have booths.
Yeah.
And we have a booth leader.
Uh-huh.
And then they organize that booth for the day. So there's a lot of leaders.
Well, tell us a little bit about the booths. Who goes? Who comes?
Well, the booths that we have, and you've probably gone to this booth many times, and we call it the country store.
Right.
And we have a lot of women in our church that, and men, who make jam all year long for the fair. We have some wonderful people that give us their peaches, their blueberries, and so we get all this wonderful produce gifted to us, and then from there we make the jam. We also have a group within our church. It's the Women's Alliance, and they make these wonderful crafts through the year. So it's a lot of craft items, and it's the jam. They're a big part of the fair, and they work very hard.
And I have to say that last year, one of my colleagues bought a new house, and I remember picking out some jam and some new tea towels that were beautifully embroidered, and I made a lovely gift basket for her from items that I bought at the country fair that I was able to give to her, and they were unique and beautiful and just a lot more interesting than what you could, pick up at the mall in
Right.
terms of a housewarming gift. So.
Right. There's a thought. There's something that everybody should think about too, because
Winter's coming. And
come there and
holidays.
if you have something happening, even a shower or just
Thanksgiving is coming. It's great to have in the holidays all those little country fair things like the jams and
They
the
make
tea towels
napkins, and
Yeah.
they do all
See?
kinds of wonderful things.
Well, this is great. I'm going to throw in a little ad for the thrift shop. They could come there and get baskets and then go to the fair.
Exactly.
Yes,
And
put a
fill 'em.
beautiful gift together.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. I think, and I like the idea of the homemade things to give as gifts too. But you have other people there too. You
Well, we
have
do have
things for the
crafters.
children.
Yep, well, we do have crafters, which is separate. We have lots of kids' games, and they are, homegrown games that the kids from our youth groups, most of the junior youth group and the senior youth group, those kids will help out with the games, and there's the duck, there's a pool with,
Duck raffle, and
Yeah.
there's cornhole toss, and there's pony rides.
Pony rides.
And there's usually a puppet show, and there's lots of other games too, and they kind of vary from year to year depending on what the kids think will be most interesting. And
Yeah.
everybody gets a little prize. So if you take a young child to the game section, they'll be waited on by an adorable
attentive
young
youth.
person, an attentive youth, and they'll have a nice time. And if they don't quite make that toss or whatever, it'll still work out in their favor. Ultimately, it's got a very nice feeling to it, and
Yeah.
kids love
does.
that.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about, like when the fair is happening and how they can get in touch with someone if they need information.
Sure, the fair is always this Saturday after Labor Day. So it is always that day. And it's from 10 to 4 in beautiful Fay Park. And as you said, it's hosted by the Unitarian Church. We have crafters. If you want to participate and be a crafter or know something about the fair, there is a link on the church's website, and the church website is fculittle.org. And there is a link for the fair, so you can access information. One of the things that we also do, we call it the back row, sort of by the gazebo. We have a lot of the nonprofits in town. So the Littleton Conservation Trust will have a table. So there'll be several different organizations on that back row. So it's got a real country hometown feel.
Yeah.
So we love having them there.
I've seen some of the farms.
Yes.
Yes, big farm presence. We usually get
Yeah.
Gary's Farm Stand and
Springdale.
Dell to
Yeah.
come. Littleton Community Farm has been there, and
Right.
some people who are have raised bees and sell honey, and
Yeah.
maybe
Good.
some other farms as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been having the farmers come, I would think, the last 5 years, and we have loved their presence at the fair. And Jamie from Springdale is very generous to our lunch table and donates tomatoes
Yeah.
for our lunch table,
Yeah.
because we have a wonderful caprese stack that we offer as one of our food offerings, and then, of course, the tomatoes for the hamburgers.
Yeah. She's very generous because she also gave the seniors a 20% discount on
That's
veggies
nice,
this year.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's great.
yeah. So
We
that's good.
also, we work with Donnellan's for our food for the lunch table. It's very important to us to keep this local, so we
Yes.
want to support our
Yeah.
local businesses.
And they do support us.
Yep.
They do. Donlands is really great too about supporting
Yeah.
us. So, and you're right, keep it going. And I like that we see them at the fair.
Yeah.
It's a good time. I usually get there so that I can walk the whole thing and see everything and talk to everybody along the way and see people, in fact, that I haven't seen all year sometimes. I like that.
You see a lot of kids in their soccer uniforms coming, so they go to their games and then they come as a family with their soccer uniforms, and many people bring their dogs. And so because that's what we've been seeing, we have this new little surprise this year, and I'm going to let Julie tell us, everybody, about this new little.
Okay.
New little surprise. Well, we decided to get the dogs a little bit more involved this year. So we're going to have a few contests. We're going to have just come dressed the same as your dog is one of them. So doggy owner, dog look-alike. You can simply bring your dog in a costume, and we'll have a best costume contest. And there may be some other offerings as well, but it will be very dog-friendly with water and treats and whatnot for the dog. So please bring your leashed, well-behaved dog to the fair, and if your dog has a costume, that would be even better. And there'll be a number of different activities in which your dog may participate if he or she would like. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a fun thing.
It's Gemini dog.
Gemini Dog Training is here in Littleton, and I believe that they're going to be helping, they're going to be assisting and doing some activities along with some members of the
Yeah.
church community to bring some of these events to life. But details to follow.
Well, I hope that you do that again next year, because this year I told you I lost my favorite little friend, and we're thinking of getting another puppy, so he'll be ready for next year if you do it again, and I
Oh, that would be
certainly
great.
want to do that.
Yeah.
And we have to show your pet in a little while.
Yeah,
in
she's here with her
costume.
costume, and we'll bring her on, and we'll bring her on in a little while.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that would be great.
So that's good. That's a neat thing, and the kids will love that too. And I'm trying to think of everything that we want to include so that everyone knows what's going to be happening.
Well, another big attraction, I think, that's really a lot of fun is the jewelry table. And I'm chair of the jewelry table, the jewelry booth. And I'm actually wearing a watch and a bracelet that I got at the jewelry table last year. And this watch, all I needed to do was get a new battery, and it works beautifully. And it's a Seiko, and I just love it. And it's a fabulous piece. I got a couple of nice beaded bracelets, and actually, this ring was also from
That is beautiful.
is also from the jewelry table, and isn't that fun?
Yeah. Now, are these handmade, or are they used, or are they new, or do people
People donate
Yeah.
their...
Donate?
What we ask people to do is to go through their jewelry and to look for things that they're no longer, wearing or using, and to bring those by the church by the Friday night before the fair. The fair is on September 9th, so that would be the 8th, the evening of the 8th. And we sort the jewelry and clean jewelry that maybe has been sitting and looking a little bit musty. I'm wearing a silver piece of jewelry that actually I bought for my mother when I was a little girl. And I've got to say that it's really an adorable piece, but it really does need to be polished up. So we would polish something like this. And I was actually thinking, this is a great piece, but I haven't worn it in a long time. Maybe I'm going to donate this one to the fair this year. So I've gone through my own jewelry box to look for the things that I wear all the time and then the things that don't really wear. And I'm planning on donating quite a few items from my own jewelry box this year. And I think that this is probably one of the items that's going to go. But it's a wonderful place to find something new to wear. People donate all sorts of different kinds of things, from vintage pins and buttons and lots of bracelets, earrings. And I personally like to sometimes take jewelry and I have my own tools and repurpose it, and I'll change an earring into a necklace, or I'll do things with the jewelry that's to make it to make it come back to life. This necklace was broken and then I fixed it. So it can really be fun for a crafty person to go and find something to inspire you, maybe just to try something new, to give away something and open up your jewelry box so that you've got more room to get something new. There's many, that's one of my favorite parts of the fair, is rummaging around in the jewelry booth and helping people to find something fabulous to wear.
We also have a fundraiser that happens within the jewelry booth too. One of our members has a connection with some African beads, and she brings them in, and so it's a fundraiser for this organization.
Oh,
So that's a really important part. It's the social action piece of our church is represented in our fair. And I'd also like to take a moment to mention that we donate 10% of our profits, our net profits from the fair, back to the community. And that's something that we've been very proud of, to be able to say we've given thousands of dollars back to Littleton, to the Council on Aging, to Loaves and Fishes. We gave
Castle in the Trees last year when they really
our
needed the money.
10% to the Castle in the Trees. So we had a big presence in that project. Last year we gave money to the library for their future renovations. So, and I think that's why the fair is so well received, because people, they sense that we really care about our community and we want to give back. And
Well, it's like we said earlier, it's the small town flavor, and we help each other, and there you are, helping each organization in town that appreciates it very much, I'm sure. I know we do at the Council on Aging. So does it cost, like if someone wanted to have a booth, do you charge for that spot?
we do have a crafter's fee, which
Okay.
is very similar to what any of these crafters would pay at any craft fair that they would want to
Okay.
go to. And we have an application on our website that you can download and send in. So we do have a crafter's fee.
Okay.
So we get a good, it's not a craft fair, but we do have a nice,
You have a good blend.
a good blend
Yeah.
of some crafting and jewelry and different things.
What about the books too? We have a big
That's right.
book tent or booth, and sometimes we've actually had it over across the street in the actual church itself. But we have thousands and thousands of books to browse through, and I'm a teacher, so I often will go through and when I'm on break from the jewelry booth and grab lots of different titles for my classroom.
Yeah.
Last year we had a baby shower and we decorated the whole house with different children's books, and some of those books I got at the church fair and used for our little shower project.
That's excellent.
So
Yeah,
there's
as a
some
matter of
wonderful
fact,
books.
my husband, now you reminded me, that's where he goes when I'm
Yeah.
going to Trash and Treasure. He
Right.
goes to the books. And so I know where he is, he knows where I am. And we
I
always
have a
get
great-
something we want.
I have a great book story. So one year, so our first church service of the year is this Sunday after the fair. So when we go to church the next day, there's a lot of excitement at church, and we're all pretty tired, but there's a lot of excitement. And one year, our minister was rummaging through the used book table and found a book, and the opening reading for that Sunday service was a reading from one of the books that the minister came upon while perusing the books. So that was really special.
Yeah.
To
Well,
have
I
it.
think this particular fair is special anyway, and it does make you smile thinking about it and thinking about everything you see there and the people you see there. So I want to make sure that you always keep this going for the next 80 years, you know, at least.
Absolutely. And I'd like to mention one more thing that I'm thinking that people in the audience, you know, if you're downsizing and clearing out, we have this wonderful Trash and Treasures booth, and we fill it up with all of the things that people no longer need.
Right.
And it's something that we, if you have an item that's sitting there that you no longer need in your house, Laura came up with the innovation this year that will come by and get it for you and bring it to the fair, and you can make a donation to the fair in kind of something that, you know, whether it's a small piece of furniture or a
Household
good or
or-
something,
Yeah,
and
good.
somebody who's just starting out will find a good use for it,
Yeah.
and it's a wonderful way to give
And
back.
I understand, though, you were saying there might be a little bit of a change in collecting.
Yeah.
So let's mention that.
Well, usually the church has a parsonage that is 2 houses down from the church, and the parsonage has a lovely barn, and so that is where people give their items for Trash and Treasure. So that's why you see as much as you see. So the parsonage is on the market, so people can, so instead of us holding it, people are bringing it the day before the fair. We also, on our website, fculittle.org, we have a list of items that we do and do not accept. So if
good.
you want to donate some items to the fair, if you go on the church website and click on the link for the country fair, there is a list of all the items
Good.
that we accept and we don't. And if you feel so compelled to bring them down, we would be happy to take them off your hands. We are at the fairgrounds the entire day on Friday, the Friday before the fair,
Okay.
setting up the fair.
Okay.
So we will be there. Just bring your items down. We are happy to accept them, as long as they're within the parameters.
Yes, yeah.
Well, good. So I'm really happy that you both came. And
We're
gave us
happy
this
we
little-
came too.
This little news report about our fair. Actually, that's what it is, you know that. Our fair. The town's fair, too, because that's the one we look forward to.
It's
Yeah.
a wonderful fair.
And the Christmas fair, of course, but this one,
This is a really special one. Before I moved to Littleton, I came to visit my mother here in town, and I came to the fair a couple of times, and it was one of the ways that I got to know the community and to feel good about the community, and
Yeah.
it was part of what made me want to move to Littleton was just the feeling that I got from the country fair. So
Good.
I think it's still a great time, and I hope that I'll see all of the people who are watching this at the country fair on September 9th.
yeah. And I'm hoping that if anyone out there is new to town, they remember the date and they go, because you really will enjoy it. So thank you again, ladies, for being here.
Thank you for having us,
And
and
I
we
know
hope
I'll
to see
see
you
you
at the
at the
fair.
See you at the fair. Thank you.